Before we get started in this, I'd like to talk to you about a subject matter that's almost as important and close to my heart as the idea of using revolvers, and that's the one of safety. Very simply, we use 4 simple guidelines. We'd like for you to adhere to those guidelines and rules. They're not rigidly flexible in my mind's eye. They're simply rigid, and we need to adhere to them. Rule 1, we're going to treat the guns like they're loaded. 2, I wouldn't point the muzzle at anything I didn't want to destroy. 3, I wouldn't put my finger on the trigger until my sights are on the target. And then the 4th thing, of course, is being sure of your target and backstab. So if you'll remember those 4 simple things. I'd like to go over some very specific features of the new Smith & Wesson Thunder Ranch revolver. On the first couple of guns that we worked with Smith & Wesson, they were actually production guns. This is a really unique gun, and I'm very proud that we could do this because this has been done in conjunction with the Performance Center. One of the most important features on this new Thunder Ranch Smith & Wesson revolver is the light rail. The light rail is detachable for those people who might not have that requirement. For those who do, you simply pop it on, okay, and you simply pop it off. We've taken the locking bolt out and added a ball detent which closes and locks into the frame, which allows the cylinder to turn more freely. Another of the new features are a forged hammer and trigger, and the cool part is in the hammer, then we have a pin sear, and then also in the trigger itself, which is also forged, we have a trigger stop. One of the other interesting features about this is the ability to set the B and C gap on it, so barrel to cylinder gap for the in 400 thousandths. And then with the new barrel design, it actually can be set into place and then locked into place, so it's held to a much tighter tolerance. So another cool thing. One of the other features that they've included on this revolver are the interchangeable front sight. This one has the gold bead on it, but it's good if you want to put a red ramp on or some of the new fluorescent tube lighting, you can do that. But personal preference, of course, is for the gold bead, and it's interchangeable, so that makes it pretty cool. Because this is a Performance Center gun, it has a hand-tuned action. Guys got in there and worked on it, cleaned it up. It's really nice. All of them are good. You know, it's a Smith & Wesson, but some of them have a little bit extra, and this is a little bit extra gun. Performance Center gun. It's a pretty simple system, but it just requires a couple of considerations. The key is remember the true safety on this gun is your finger, which is off the trigger, and your brain, which is in gear. Once I have it, if I took it out and if I was going to set it up for night use anyways, I'd run a systems check and make sure that it was loaded and ready to go, keeping the muzzle always in a safe direction so you don't endanger anybody and yourself. Take the light if you would. You'll see people, okay, they'll bring the light way forward and come in here. I don't like getting my hand in front of the muzzle, and I suggest that you don't. I simply come in here. Once I get it started on the rail, bring it back and snap it in, then it would be ready to go and do whatever it is that I wanted to do and sort my stuff out. If you come to dismount it, again, the key ingredient is to get your finger off the trigger. Watch very carefully. Pull down, no finger on the trigger, move it just far enough to get it off, and then you can support it in that format. It should be easy. It should be a good tool for all of us. What we're going to do now is give you a demonstration of the capability of the new Smith & Wesson revolver and the light. One more time, we do not advocate that you apply tactics in your home. And if you're going to, we suggest that you get competent instruction. This is an acquired skill over a period of time. We're simply showing you the capability of the gun and the light, both as a navigation tool and also as a target identification tool. This actually is making us safer. This makes us smarter. We can illuminate things instead of being unsure in the dark without corrective lenses at 3 in the morning. So it's a very viable tool, both a combination of the revolver itself and the light. So we have a really rock solid defensive tool and a light system that supports it, and so we should be good to go. As an idea, when we're ready to go in this format, the light would be on. To activate it, we would put it in here. My personal preference is that you remember not to leave your hands forward, because if you actually discharge the gun, remember the flash or the muzzle blast or the cylinder blast off the front can cause injury to your hand. So once the light comes on, what you do is put both hands back into a firing grip, and then you could start to work your searching area just like you normally would. If I step back here to give you an idea to clear this plane, once I would come in here to work the corner, I can turn the light on. People go, well, if you see the light, they'll know you're coming. They already know I'm coming. I'm opening doors. I'm telling them, get out of my house. Go away. I called the police. You're scaring me. Simple stuff like that. I'm simply using it in these angles to slice it off nice and smooth. And I would take it right on around, keeping the gun between me and the bad guy. This is very important. If you actually have to shoot, you will shoot them with the sights on the revolver, not the light. The light simply is illuminating the area, and you'll actually be stunned if you've never used one of these before, because you do have the light. The sights are very crisp, very clear, and you can see them. And the sights are your last visual control over the bullet, and your trigger finger is your last physical control. So we slice them nice and smooth, nice and smooth. We're looking at them. I'm not in any hurry. And as a guideline again, we do not advocate that you do this. We're simply saying if you're going to do it, get competent instruction. We simply provided you with an absolute powerhouse tool to do it with. We're pleased that Smith & Wesson is elated and Clint's really happy, and we think you got a good package here to defend yourself and your family if it should be required.
Get the best of Thunder Ranch without leaving home. Firearms training expert Clint Smith has tutored thousands of students at his legendary Thunder Ranch training facility. Now you can enjoy the best of Clint's unique teaching style through these specially developed DVD courses. Each 2-disc set, filmed at Thunder Ranch in Oregon, is packed full of Clint's personal observations about the tactics and gear that work best.